How's it going? I hope you're doing as good as I'm doing today. A little bit of a low energy day. Pretty much my own fault. Definitely my own fault. But I was working with a bit of stubbornness today and came back to bite me a little bit. And, some things I'm overthinking more than I should. But I had the homies supporting me. So, it's all about the consistency and just relaxing after you've put in the effort. So now that I've finished the workout, I'm going to try to relax a little bit. I'll get into it. I'll let you know about all the stupid fucking shenanigans I got into today. But physically, I'm feeling, I'll give it a 7.5, like a really solid 7.5, honestly. It's not that high for what I've been doing. But again, I'll get into it in a second, but kind of my own fault. Mentally, I'll put it like a 7.85, just a little bit more. Like, the homies were really supportive. It was a good day. I think I just kind of got to myself today. It's one of those where I kind of should have just kind of relaxed and had a little bit more fun. But anyway, I'm going to talk about two things because I did not balance my daily life very well today. First of all, I really want to get into staying disciplined, like, no matter what. Unless something, like, truly awful or, like, something that, like, genuinely you cannot, like, avoid. If it's just, like, something that's, like, it sucks, but just a little bump in the road in the day, and it might be something that makes you not want to go to the gym, that kind of thing, So this is kind of where my stupidity comes in, even though I was very passionate about it, and still am. I don't regret it, but my car's broken down, so I didn't have a ride to the gym, and my brother was working all day, so I didn't have a car, and I was like, all right, well, what am I going to do? And where I'm trying to get a little bit better is I need to learn to ask for help a little bit more, even if I feel like it's not validated, because not that I was afraid to ask for help, or I feel like I didn't deserve it. I do a thing where, like, if it's like a first time thing for something that I'm trying to get figured out, I have a tendency to try to go to the furthest lengths to get it done on my own. And then the moment somebody tells me they would have helped, then I'm like, oh, I guess I don't have to do that ever again. So instead of hitting people up to drive me to the gym, because I didn't want them to come way out of town to come pick me up because I live kind of far away, I found bus routes nearby. And, the walking to the bus routes, taking 2 different buses, walking to the gym, ended up taking 2 hours. So, although, don't regret it, and I was trying to display to myself, kind of prove to myself that I had that discipline, that passion to do it anyway. But I'm telling you, when I got into that gym, I was like, man, I might be a little more tired than I would like to be. Because it's a squat day, so I needed my core there and my legs, and then I had snatches after, and I don't think I dialed it in as much as I wanted to mentally because of all of the moving around. So and it was very humbling, but also reassuring in the sense of, like, I know I got that positivity in my daily life. So I got there, and they were like, oh, hey, how you doing? And I was like, oh, it took a little while to get here because I did this and this. I'll figure it out next time. And they were like, dude, like, I had like 3 people come up to me like, we would have just drove you. And I'm like, oh, shit. My own principles have come to bite me in the ass. And something a homie of mine said that I thought was very wise was that there are people who either ask for too much or too little, and both are bad in their own ways, but it's about the way you meet in the middle that kind of makes it a positive scenario for everyone. Because, of course you never want to ask too much, in a selfish way where you expect someone to give a bunch of shit to you for no reason. But, especially between close friends, at least for me, it's hard to ask for much, even though I know that I would try to do, like, if someone else was in the same scenario I was in, I would want to go pick them up. So I guess I should have thought of that first, because I know that if my friends are good friends with me. They're probably a lot more similar to me than I realize. And that little bit of ignorance led to today being a lot longer of a day than it needed to be. And I exerted a lot more energy than I would have wanted to. But it's one of those things that, like, it brings it back, because this is why I tell you to surround yourself with a positive environment and positive people. You never know when they're just going to give you that just that raw positivity without you needing to do shit for it, or like not needing to feel like you need to do anything for it. They just gave it to you and you're like, God damn it, sucks that thing happened, but I'm glad that I have these people around me and I can appreciate my life a little bit more for that. But yeah, no, I got to the gym and it didn't make it a whole lot better, because I got to my top set on squat. I actually hyped up really well. I was feeling really, really motivated partway through my squats. And when I got to 425, you'll see I went down on that first rep and I hit the fucking railing on the side. I hit the rack, which is so disappointing. I was very upset in the moment. I got over it pretty quick, but again, as you'll see, I got back on it, really put in my all. And again, I'm not mad at all that it happened. It is what it is. You can get upset in the moment, but it's always about how you work through it. So I was like, I got the energy still. I feel good. I'm going to at least attempt to do the set. And I got like 3.5 or instead of 4. I was very close on that last rep. I was really, really wanting it, but it is what it is. And again, just the positive environment lifting me up, even though I was failing my ass off. I didn't even know they were there today, but some homies ran up behind me and gave me a spot. And I was like, man, I didn't need it, but it was nice to know that my homies were looking out for me. And they didn't even know I was having a shit day. Or it wasn't even a shit day. It was just more of an overthought day than it needed to be. Exerting yourself to means that are completely unnecessary just because of stubbornness will always lead you to not have enough energy to put the passion into the things that you really want to do. So while it was nice to get a little motivated and travel for 2 hours across town, when I got to the actual passion part of my day, I didn't have enough energy to put in everything that I wanted to. And when I got to my snatches, I decided that, like, similar with my cleans, I'm trying to go a little bit narrow on my grip compared to how I've been doing it. I'm going about a 1/2 inch to an inch closer on my grip on both lifts, just to kind of feel it out. I want to see if it makes me a better lifter, because I've always had issues on my cleans where I couldn't hold my elbows as much as I wanted to on the heavy lifts, and vice versa on the snatches. It's hard for me. I have little baby hands, and I have an injury on my left hand that it was a bone growth, so that will always have a little bit more limited mobility than my right hand. So it's hard to hook grip as evenly, so it can come up a little wobbly if I'm not like really dug into it. So putting that little bit of a narrow grip on it allowed me to get a really solid hook grip and be able to hold it as tight as I wanted to, comfortably, which was really good. But because I did this whole charade today and was overthinking my squats and I was overthinking my lifts, I got to the weight that I really wanted to put over my head today, and I could not do it. I was out of energy. Yesterday's workout also really shredded me, and it's just one of those days, It's okay. Genuinely, it's always okay to fail. This is how you get better, but it's the act of get upset in the moment, take that in, and then drop it and move on and do better. And so now that I've left the gym and I can go home and relax, I need to actually do that instead of sitting here. On the way home, I was literally looking up pictures of snatches from a week ago when I was really killing it versus today, and like taking screenshots of every single part of the lift to see exactly where I was messing up. And although I feel like I figured it out, something that I always tell everyone, especially when you're first starting out, is this stuff just takes time. You kind of just got to commit to it for a while. Even if you're an experienced lifter, if something starts bugging your lifts and you're not doing as well as you normally do, it's not something you're going to fix in one single workout most of the time. It could, but a lot of times it doesn't. So put in your best effort while you got it. And, you know, I felt really good going up to 225. The first rep on 225 was pretty lackluster, but then the second rep I actually felt really solid. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is good progression. So I need to remember that instead of remembering the failed rep that I did at the end that made me want to overthink and rethink all of the grip changes I was making. So regardless of all that, you know, take it with a grain of salt. This is just me being me, but don't let your own high and mighty standards of doing everything yourself take away from your daily life. You know, you got to live every day to the best of your abilities. And while although I managed to keep the positivity up, it has now led me to overthink and not regret, but be like, it's always that little bit, like, of course I wish I could turn it off, but it's that little bit of probably would have had the energy completely there and wouldn't have any of the issues I had today if I hadn't have gone on that 2-hour journey, walking for at least an hour out of the 2 hours and traveling on bus otherwise. So taken away from it, I'm just going to keep doing my best. You know, I'm going to relax. I'm going to allow myself the opportunity to put it down, sleep on it, wake up, think about it logically, and do better next time. And even more than that, this is why I alternate snatch and clean and jerk every day. So I won't be snatching for another couple days. Because tomorrow's clean and jerk day, and then I have a rest day. So tomorrow, I need to make sure my brain is thinking about my clean and jerks and not my snatches. So tomorrow is the day where I'll put in the effort for my new grip on cleans, and then when I come back from my rest day, that's where I'll really get to test out the new form on snatches. It's also going to be a pause week after this next rest day, so that's when the form's really going to come out. So I appreciate you listening to me ramble on a little bit. I know it gets a bit ranty here, but give yourself some credit. You know, I got to give myself some credit. I'm always telling you guys to do it. I got to give myself some credit. The sets going up to 225 actually were pretty fucking solid. The squats were solid all the way through. I just got that last set robbed from me from the rack. But again, it's okay. I put in the same intensity that I wanted to. You know, I got the same drive. It's just a matter of rekindling that passion to the best of my ability so that next time I come in tomorrow, I am cranking it out. That's what matters, at least to me. So I'll be back. We got bench and clean and jerks tomorrow, and then a rest day. I can really just put it down and try to let my body recuperate. And again, it's one of those things where I really, really believe that, like, as much as I think about the form and know what I'm messing up and know what I need to do to fix it, I feel like more than that, if I just keep coming back and keep being consistent and keep being passionate, I will make the progress to do better and fix it over time. So maybe sometimes you don't got to look for a direct solution. You just got to look for a way to make sure you maintain the amount of fun and joy you derive out of that lift or whatever hobby you're doing. So I will be back. You know, let me know how your lifts are going and enjoy yourself in the meantime. I'll see you. Bye.